Good afternoon. I'm glad we had such a great turnout. I was somewhat surprised by the email responses. As was mentioned, I work with EH&S in the risk management department, and part of my job is to provide ergonomic services and advising to departments across the campus. Sometimes that's an individual, sometimes that's an office. And a little more than maybe 2 years ago, the Green Building Council, when they built their DC headquarters, found out the natural pairing between ergonomics and sustainability in a number of areas, and lighting is just one of those. After meeting with different people, John is one of them, and Dee Dee in the past, trying to get this on the agenda, there's some good news as of late. The subcommittee for lighting on campus has moved from their outdoor initiatives, and they're taking up some indoor initiatives this summer on their agenda. So hopefully that will impact new building construction, and quickly we can, on the heels of this study, if we can get it off the ground, will mainly impact the existing building structure. But to talk a little bit more about task lights, I wanted to put this up because this is my role on campus, is impacting the safety and wellness, and hopefully then the productivity, because happy and healthy people make good employees. A lot of times lighting is the last piece that I talk about when I go to somebody's workstation, be that mainly offices, but I also go to labs, and I also handle materials handling, which usually doesn't require indoor lighting. It's usually outdoors or in a warehouse, a loading dock, that type of environment. But I did bring a task light because I wanted you guys to see what we're talking about. Many of you got this in the presentation, so I just wanted to show you this is what we're talking about. Traditionally, the research from ergonomic researchers across the country and the world find that lighting is the #1 problem. Not keyboard trays and overreaching and leaning, all those are real problems in our work environments, but lighting. And that is because, and it doesn't say it in this slide, our standards, our building standards, are 40 years old. We didn't have computers on your individual desk 40 years ago. We didn't have them on your desk maybe 30 years ago, and in some places 20. So we've changed the way we work, and so in my opinion and many other researchers, we need to change the way we light our environments, and that comes down to foot candles and illumination. And John talks about the major energy systems, or major systems that impact energy use. A lot of times when we don't need them, turning off the lights and updating old systems that aren't efficient. What we're talking about with a task light is while you're working, what can we save at, in our offices, in our labs, across campus, while we're in operation? And that's where the task light comes in. We want you to think of single source lighting as the problem because we don't have one task, which 40 years ago, paper was the main task that's the way we did business. Today, it's computers, it's multitasking, and so we need different light sources to address that problem. So let me just pull this up real quick. And part of the reason why we've started to partner more and more with Humanscale in terms of products is they've pushed the furniture industry and other industries to pretty much copy their designs. They are a leader in ergonomics and applying ergonomics research to design. And more importantly, usability, because there are a lot of keyboard trays out there, for example, that just don't work. And I replace them every year. And so this is, make sure it's will turn on here. This is their current example. It's a 13-watt CFL. CFL to date is the current technology that outperforms even LED in a number of ways, but even including energy efficiency. The Department of Energy, until a company can come up with a design that solves those problems, says that CFL is the best technology. So right now we're leaning towards this product, but we look at a lot of products, and we would recommend more than one if there's competitors in price and quality that can match this product. They are working on LED. Many people are working on LED, and we will assess that when those products become available and, more importantly, usable. This design, this is a double arm, so if you have a space that requires that kind of reach, because you just don't have a space to put it, and you may have the old style lights under the bins, this becomes an opportunity to get it out of off your desk in terms of where you're working and move this. And that light's driving me crazy on the projector there, but get this down to where you need it, on your paper, on your desktop, and away from the computer and out of your eyes. And it's not hot to the touch, so you don't have to worry about burning yourselves like some of the old style lamps. It's very easy to move. This is just one style base. It can be mounted to cubicles and other types of mounts, but this is very heavy, and so you really have to work on getting it so far out before it tips. So this isn't a desk, so you can't really see how it works, but the goal is the illumination that hits your desk surface can be adjusted in terms of the amount of light that you need. And that's important for two reasons. We could set this for whatever the standard is for paper, but there's another conflict in terms of lighting and the human employees and the human experience is age. And so as we age, the need for lighting increases. And so in our cubicle environments and shared office environments, more than one person with a decade, two decades in difference in age can be like, well, I can't work this way, but I have headaches all day long. So how do we solve that? Adjustability. Just like keyboard trays and chairs, it adjusts to the individual, increasing the illumination where you need it. Again, dual source lighting. So that's pretty much the gist of it. It's not that complicated. When it comes down, we want to turn off lights. Whatever the standard is right now, we can put in more efficient bulbs and so on and so forth, but that's just still too many bulbs, the way it was built. Hopefully our newer buildings will use less watts per square foot type of calculations when we can make those recommendations from that committee that I spoke of earlier to change our new building standards. For existing buildings, it's as simple as a physical plant request. Please don't stand on your chair with wheels to twist your bulbs off above your head, because I will get the injury reports for those. That's not sustainable either. So physical plant will come out, turn off the bulbs, and there may be, okay, well, I need this one off, but when I turn that one off, it's a problem. So every space is going to be different, and you may need to be creative when it comes to front office spaces where you want to look open for business. Sometimes it may mean getting some type of uplighting lamp that relatively inexpensive to create that open for business look without creating the glare in the receptionist's face, which is typically a huge problem we have. You may have the fluorescent lights, and then you have some canister lights, and it's just a runway. The person it's not an office, it's a space with a desk stuck in it, and the lights are coming right towards the individual's face while they're on the computer. And that's pretty common practice across all offices that have a receptionist station. So this is the solution. And in terms of energy efficiency, from what we have seen, it will pay for itself within a year and a half and then have follow-on benefits. And if you multiply that times departments and campus, we already have the initiative for the hallways to be delamped, and there's many more lights per square foot in the offices down every hallway that we've already delamped. So